Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a crypto protocol that claims to be, and I'm quoting here, a mathematical inevitability. So we're going to break down the mechanics behind that pretty huge claim.
And yeah, they don't waste any time, do they? Right from the jump, the source material frames this whole thing not as some speculative bet, but as, well, as a logical conclusion. The message is pretty clear. If you're an investor, ignoring this is just bad math.
Okay, so that's the big question, right? What is this machine they're talking about? What's the engine driving all this confidence? Let's get into it and really unpack the core components that they lay out in the white paper. All right, first things first, the entire premise here is built on one central idea. And it's an idea that's meant to set it apart from, a lot of the other cryptocurrencies out there.
And here it is. The core thesis is that its value isn't supposed to come from hype or just people trading it back and forth. No, the model is designed to tie the token's value directly to the growth of its actual financial ecosystem. The more it's used in the real world, the more valuable it's supposed to become.
So how do they plan to do that? Well, it all comes down to something called deflationary pressure. The whole system is engineered so that the more the platform gets used, the total supply of the token actually shrinks. It's just simple economics, right? When supply go down, the things that are left become more scarce, and that scarcity is what's designed to drive up their value.
So, the next logical question is, how does it actually reduce its own supply? How does it create that deflation? Well, according to the source, the entire structure rests on three core mechanisms, all working together.
Pillar number one is called the toll booth. Think about it like this. Every time someone sends money internationally using their platform, the system takes a 20% cut of that fee. That money then automatically buys the token on the open market and immediately sends it to a burn address. Poof, gone from circulation forever.
Now, this second pillar is where things get really interesting, because it connects this digital token to actual physical assets. 5% of the net rental income from the project's real estate portfolio is also used to buy and burn the token. This creates a burn pressure that's totally separate from the crypto markets. I mean, tenants pay rent whether Bitcoin is up or down, right?
And finally, we've got the velocity tax. It's a tiny, tiny fee, just 0.1% on every single token transfer. But that tiny fee is instantly burned. So the more activity there is on the platform, the faster that deflationary process is supposed to speed up.
So let's just recap, because this is the crucial part. You have these three pillars all working together. The toll booth from people sending money, the landlord effect from real estate, and the velocity tax from every transaction. All of them are creating this constant, automated buy pressure from totally different sources of revenue.
Okay, so to really make this concrete, the white paper lays out a hypothetical example. It's meant to show the kind of mathematical impact this system could have, and it focuses just on the first year. They call it the God candle scenario.
So let's zoom in and just look at the numbers for that first pillar, the remittance toll booth. What kind of impact could just that one mechanism have in its very first year, according to their own projections?
The model starts with what they call a conservative number for a new neobank. A cool $100 million in remittance volume flowing through their system in year one.
So if you charge a competitive 2% fee on that volume, that generates $2 million in gross revenue for the platform. Pretty straightforward. But here's where the protocol kicks in. Remember, 20% of that revenue, that's $400,000, is automatically programmed to go straight to the burn contract. This isn't profit they're taking, it's fuel for that deflationary engine.
And this is where you really see what they call the multiplier effect. That $400,000 has to be used to buy the token. So at a hypothetical launch price of 10 cents, the protocol is forced to buy and permanently destroy 4 million tokens from the total supply.
And here's a really crucial detail they highlight. This process is price agnostic. The protocol isn't trying to time the market or find a good deal. It's a machine. It's programmed to buy no matter what the price is, creating what the document describes as a constantly rising price floor.
So the protocol is constantly trying to shrink the supply. But, that's only half the equation. The other half is all about locking up the supply that's already out there. And this brings us to a bit of game theory the white paper calls trapping the whales.
See, they create this special VIP tier for the big holders, anyone with over 100,000 tokens. And these lion shareholders get some serious perks, like completely free international money transfers and first dibs on new real estate deals.
And the goal here is some clever psychology, right? It's designed to make holding the tokens way more profitable than selling them, at least for the biggest players.
The intended result is that these large holders lock their tokens away to get all those benefits, which in turn drives up the floating supply. That's the amount of tokens actually available for sale on the market at any given time.
So, when you put all of these pieces together, you've got the 3 burn pillars and this whale trap. The white paper presents a final visual concept, a self-reinforcing cycle they call a self-eating machine.
This flowchart from the source really lets us follow the money. It all starts with a simple user transaction. A piece of that fee gets automatically sent to buy tokens from the market. Those tokens are then burned, which permanently reduces the supply, which in turn is designed to increase the price of all the tokens that are left. It's a loop. And that brings us to the final, powerful pitch line in the document, which perfectly sums up this whole idea of aligning real-world utility with investor-focused tokenomics. It's a bold statement. So what do you think? Is this a glimpse into the future of value built on unavoidable math? Or is it a beautifully crafted story that hinges on some really big assumptions about people actually using the platform?